Different artistic depictions of William Shakespeare have circulated through the art world for hundreds of years. Always, just one portrait was sought, a portrait of Shakespeare before his death in 1616. Although many times the art world thought they had found such a depiction, scientific testing proved them wrong. This elusive depiction, by some thought not to exist, has remained undiscovered for hundreds of years. Perhaps until now. In 2006, Alec Cobb, owner of a collection of art for 26 years, was visiting an art exhibit in London called Searching for Shakespeare. A picture he saw of Shakespeare looked to him like a copy of a portrait in his own collection that he had inherited. It turned out to be more than just looks. Cobb began the process of scientifically testing and authenticating the painting, seeing if he could find what had long been sought by art, a painting of Shakespeare made while the bard was still alive. The tree rings of the wood of the panel were tested, and these rings verified the possibility that the painting was made when Shakespeare was alive. However, this just estimated the time the wood was chopped down. More information was needed. The actual artist of the piece is unknown. However, the oil paint and the styling certainly point to art made in the 1600s. Artists and historians note the look of this portrayal of Shakespeare. The liveliness and the realism to them point to a portrait made from the actual person. Over time, the painting appears to have been copied in various forms multiple times, possibly leading to the many depictions of Shakespeare that were created after his death. These famous paintings and engravings of the writer have all had their time being considered the picture made before his death, before being scientifically disproven. It now seems these depictions were second-hand pieces of art, created based on what is now being called the Cobb portrait of Shakespeare. The painting had been in the Cobb family for years, being passed down from generation to generation. Genealogically, the Cobb family does have some relation to Shakespeare, which could be why Mr. Cobb found it in his collection. The chemical tests of the materials used show this painting was indeed made in the era when the bard was still alive. Infrared imaging is a technique when the image is formed through infrared radiation. This method is considered extremely accurate and is respected by scientists worldwide. By sending infrared waves through the painting, inconsistencies caused by forgery can easily be identified. Carbon dating was also used. Carbon dating is a method of finding how old an object is by measuring the amount of carbon in it. This is accurate because an object has a steadily decreasing amount of carbon from which experts can determine the date. This type of dating has been used to determine how old dinosaurs are. This method can be inaccurate though, because contaminants can throw off the test significantly. Since the painting was kept in such good conditions, there were minimal amounts of contaminants, and certainly not enough to throw the tests off. The carbon dating showed that the painting was from about 1610, 6 years before Shakespeare's death. X-ray dating is using X-rays, and by looking at the structure of the object we can determine its age. The more broken down it is, the older it is, and the more stable it is, the newer it is. This also supported the age of a painting produced during the life of the bard. Spectrophotometry is a testing method that measures the amount of ultraviolet light absorbed by specific substances. Radiography is a photography that uses other kinds of radiation other than visible light to construct the image. By using these tests, scientists have determined that more than likely the painting is genuine and was painted while Shakespeare still walked the streets of London.